Whenever the showrunners claim to be fans of Tolkien's work, don't believe a fucking word those bastards say, because they, along with the writers, have gone out of their way throughout this entire series to both manipulate and massacre what Tolkien created within Middle-earth, the characters, the world building, etc. Don't believe a damn fucking word they say. Hello, this is Mara Jade, and I'm back with a spoilerish, minor spoiler review for the finale episode of Rings of Power, hence this image right here, because we finally see a few Rings of Power, at least, because even though the timeline's been all over the fucking place, the 3 Elven rings from the poem about the Rings of Power, the 3 for the, I'm not going to go into the poem, essentially, but the 3 for the elves, 7 for the dwarves, 9 for the men, and the 1 ring to rule them all. That major one that this is supposed to be centered on, essentially, pretty much. We finally see these. They look absolutely nothing fucking like the rings shown in Peter Jackson's adaptation of The Lord of the Rings. And like it or not, no matter what these showrunners say about this not being a prequel series for The Lord of the Rings, events in the Second Age do act as a prequel to the events for The Lord of the Rings in the Third Age. In the Third Age, the rise of Sauron, the fall of Numenor, the last alliance of elves and men, and so forth. Those events, and others, either directly or indirectly impact events in the Third Age. And these showrunners, these creators, Amazon Studios, could not even fucking bother to look at how the rings looked in Peter Jackson's films and made them even remotely fucking close. Because as I said, like it or not, this is a prequel. The Silmarillion is a prequel of sorts. It is the history of Middle-earth for primarily the Second Age. Primarily. Like I said, alright? So those things should connect to the Third Age. So they couldn't even bother to watch the fucking movie adaptations of The Lord of the Rings. But yet, here it is. These are the 3 Elven Rings of Power. That's about all of spoilers I'm going to touch upon, because I can't go too far, much further, talking about this, because it will touch on major spoilers, which I will rant about tomorrow in the spoiler breakdown. But for the most part, this episode focuses primarily on the murder hobbits and the not Gandalf stranger, and then the elves, in particular Galadriel, Elrond, Gil-galad in name only, Celebrimbor in name only, and Halbrand in Eregion, pretty much, as well as revelations surrounding certain characters. Now, if you've been following either the news surrounding the series or the episodes themselves, these revelations come as no surprise. No real surprise whatsoever. People have been calling it pretty much since the first few episodes for this season, with little to no payoff whatsoever for any normies watching this, because it's the most lackluster reveals I've ever fucking seen. Again, manipulates and massacres the lore, which I will go further detail tomorrow during the spoiler breakdown stream, and takes a timeline and puts events that take place about 2,000 years or so from when these events presumably are taking place, even though the showrunners are never really fucking clear about when these events are taking place. So take events 2,000 years after these events, put them before these events take place, and then events that take place like several hundred years before these events take place happen like right at the juncture of this timeline, pretty much. There's no way in any good conscience whatsoever anyone could ever tell people who have never read the books to read the books if they like this series, because they will read the books and wonder why nothing in the series at all fucking happens in the books. They will just be as confused as ever. It's like when the showrunners try to say, well, show us where in the text Tolkien said Galadriel never went to Numenor. Show us in the text. Alright? And I, in my video, said, no, your job is to show us where he did, because we can go all day showing you where he never said at all that she went to Numenor. So that does not give you permission, does not give you carte blanche or anything like that to make assumptions and to write your own work. But again, these showrunners are doing exactly what they said they were going to do. They are telling the story Tolkien never wrote. Anyone who at all, either gaslighting or just out of sheer fucking ignorance, thinks this is an actual adaptation of Tolkien's work, like, you are beyond saving at this point. You are beyond fucking saving at this point, because nothing in this series at all reflects what Tolkien wrote. It is all in name only. But I can't touch on any more spoilers, even though I touched on minor spoilers, but I can't touch on much of what goes on in this episode, because a lot of it focuses around the revelations, and those touch on major spoilers for most people. Now, I and others have pretty much been calling it since the beginning of the series, so it comes as no surprise to us. But some people don't want to know spoilers, at least not this early, but I will be going more in depth, more ranting, more raving at this finale episode, because it, like with the previous episode, pissed me off to no fucking end with this series, and I can't believe we're getting at least a season 2. I can't believe we're getting at least a season 2. But I also have news in that regard, which I'll be sharing tomorrow during the breakdown live stream, because I found out some details surrounding Rings of Power and so forth, and what to expect with season 2. So I'll be going into that tomorrow around 4 p.m. Eastern, after I go through the breakdown of this episode and so forth. So if you want the spoiler breakdown, tune into that 4 p.m. Eastern, like I said, on my channel, Jade Shadow. This whole season has been one major middle finger to Tolkien. One major middle finger to Tolkien. But again, not surprised, because the showrunners used to work for Jar Jar Abrams, the destroyer of franchises. So anyone surprised by this, again, you're beyond saving at this point, pretty much. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this finale episode for Rings of Power? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you still on the fence and waiting to see what season 2 brings about? Let me know all that fun stuff down in the comments below. Again, going into spoilers tomorrow, so keep spoilers out of the comments. Hold off on those until I do my spoiler breakdown live stream tomorrow during the mid-afternoon time frame. Right? So, again, share your thoughts down in the comments below. I won't be live either on Twitch or YouTube tonight, because I'll be hanging out with my siblings for 2 of their birthdays, so I'll be gone for a chunk of the evening. So, I will see you all tomorrow on my channel, as well as on my Nerdy Homes channel for Talk Nerdy to Us. Normally at 10 p.m. Eastern. Might have to push it back a little bit, but we'll see. But still, we'll be live tomorrow evening for more Talk Nerdy to Us. So, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is Mara Jade. Catch you on the dark side. And I want to kick Jeff Bezos in his nuts so fucking hard.